Right, back here in the Goulburn Valley again today on a beautiful day, calling the Llowalong Farms. Hello, Dr. Kath McIntosh.
How you going, Paul?
Busy little place you've got here.
Certainly is.
Been here for a little while and you haven't stopped. I asked Blanche Poole this a bit earlier. The answer's going to be yes, but do you enjoy this time of year, or do you get just too busy that you actually don't realise exactly what you're doing?
No, we do enjoy it. Wouldn't do it. You wouldn't put yourself through it, to be honest, if you didn't enjoy it. And I think it's because we do the full circle of it. It's very rewarding. And there's a client here before that come and picked up a dry mare that was pregnant, and they had another mare and foal here, and the foal was born dismature, and it had all sorts of issues and sepsis, and it was a massive job to get it right. And now it's going really well, and it's kind of a favourite foal because everyone has put in so much effort into this thing, and now we've got a nice foal, and one day we'll see it racing. Yeah. And it's so it is very rewarding, and in that way, and we do enjoy it, and sometimes it's nice. We sit down and have a drink on the deck and just reflect on the last couple of months and what we have achieved and what's going on, and have a good laugh, and
And you do follow them, like one of the first things you told me today, like you had a winner last night, but you legitimately follow all these horses, and if you miss one and someone tells you about it, you start bouncing.
Yeah, absolutely. And like last night we had, and there's one that was, it's a filly that was born on farm. We took it to the sales. I actually purchased it at the sales, which is one of the first purchases I've made, and syndicated it. And we've got a great syndicate of people. And she had her first start at Bendigo, and won last night, so we're all up and about that. And she's by her name is We Deal in Diamonds, and she's by American Ideal out of Vegas Diamonds, so she's also got a soft spot because of American Ideal as well. So there's another way we've gone full circle with horses that are here on farm.
And you were telling me Aston Villa's had her last foal, and it's an American Ideal.
Mm-hmm. American Ideal colt. Yeah.
So there's that more of that tie in as well. And the longer you're in the game, the more of an emotional attachment, I suppose, you do get out of it, don't you?
Yeah, and unfortunately I am getting quite long in the tooth now because
don't throw too many rocks because I got a few on you.
It's they're organising a 20-year graduating vet anniversary next year, and I'm just like, oh my God, like where's that 20 years gone? And the bulk of it has been in this industry, and these mares that were new foals are now back here having their own foals, and it's a cycle that goes round and round.
I'd imagine you've probably got 3 generations. I hate to tell you it, but you've probably got 3 generations of horses coming through here, haven't you?
Yeah. No, we are feeling very old.
Well, I know. I just know it even going through the yearling sales. Like, it's just ridiculous. You start looking, and even, I think we've only been doing yearling sales 4 or 5 years, and like, you're already seeing daughters of ones that have sold. Like, it's just like, it can't work. So,
I guess, we've had a massive season. We've bred an enormous number of mares, and we've foaled around 100. We've bred somewhere between 250 and 300 mares, and the bulk of them are standard breds. We also have quarter horses and here as well, but it's been a pretty solid few months, and we've got 3 left to foal, so eagerly awaiting those.
There's a lot of doom and gloom, especially in Victoria right at the minute, if you like, around the standard bred game. And one thing was breeding numbers, and I'm not here to say porky pies, but a lot of the studs I'm getting around at the minute, numbers, like, people still seem to be positive about the industry, and numbers seem to be, they'll be down, but they're not going to be massively down. I think people know to keep this industry going, we've got to keep breeding and keep trying to produce the quality horses.
Yeah, look, it's been a really interesting 6 months, and it's been very much a roller coaster ride with various announcements as they come in and out, and their people's response. And
timing
to that
can be terrible on a couple of them. We can both say that.
We don't need to go.
We'll leave that out, but
it's been up and down, but. I think for us, we've been really overwhelmed by the support that people have given us for our stallions, as well as for the work we're doing here. So we're very thankful for that. And I think also we've heavily discounted our prices on our stallions. The Soho Tribeca, Raging Bull, Yankee Rockstar, $1,000 service has, paid dividends for those stallions. We've invested in them in their stallion careers for 4 or 5 years now, and you cannot afford to have them, drop off in numbers. And, I think by dropping their service fees so drastically, it has encouraged people to breed, and they see them as excellent value at $1,000 for a service. And so, we've seen an uptick in our numbers because of that.
So it did work?
Yeah, absolutely. So, like Soho Tribeca, we had 19 bookings and we're now well over 100. And obviously it all coincided with, he's doing a super job. He's basically getting a winner a week and has for the last 2 months.
You probably should have made the announcement probably 6 months earlier, because I think the day we did the announcement, he had a double that night.
I know.
And then he had a winner the next day, and then I think he had another winner like 3 days later. Like, it was ridiculous, wasn't it?
Oh, it makes him phenomenal value. He'll never be that price again. And he's
I don't
doing
mean that to Rob either. I don't mean it to Rob. It was just amazing. As soon as we made that announcement, he had a double that night. It was just like, wow.
Yeah, I think it was just the timing with the season, and he's done a real good job. And I think this time next year, I'm sure he'll be booked out.
It's a funny game. We said in that interview, sliding door moments. Like, if he had so many of his progeny that were just getting pipped on the line, just other horses just getting past them, and then all of a sudden that wheel does turn, and away it goes. It's just, it can be. I'd hate to be like where I sit. It's easy because I just have to commentate about it. But people invested in the game, from Rob and the stallion owners to you guys, trying to say, are we going to get more? We're going to get 20 to him, or are we going to get 100, which you've ended up getting.
And and you just don't know, and it sort of waxes wane. And I think it does show the fortitude of the breeders and the people in the industry. And I think, we're still heavily invested in what we're doing and what we're doing here, and we want to support the industry. And to see that those numbers come to those stallions has been terrific. And that just shows the Victorian people are getting behind it. And but he's breeding all over Australia as well. But where the industry still exists, and we will move forward. And yes, it'll be less than ideal for a while, but I'm sure it will continue to go forward and grow again.
And you only have to look, like we say there before about American Ideal. He was one of those stallions that people used, and he's so Tribeca's by him, and like they just keep getting winners. They keep getting better and better, and that's. Tribeca seems to be following that same path. I have two things to talk to you about. Oh, well, we've got plenty to talk to you about, but along that line. But just Poster Boy for a start. Blown away.
Oh, amazing! Yeah, he's done a phenomenal job with his mares. From that first crop, and he's got some really top pedigree Group 1 mares this year. Whereas in those first few years, he hasn't had. What you would call the cream of the crop in terms of mares, and, the black type on their pedigree pages and things like that. And he's done a real job with those mares. So, in a couple of years' time with the book of mares he's got this year, what's he going to look like? So numbers have never been an issue for him. He's always had a really solid booking as far as that, but you've seen an uplift in the quality this year. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And also...
That's got to give people encouragement. If they're thinking about next year or this year or whenever to
So we've already got bookings for next year for him. We've had the waiting list this year, and then we've also got people booking in for next year already. So, I encourage people to do that. Obviously, we haven't set his service fee or anything for next year, but, if you want to get your mare to Poster Boy, then please give us a call and put your name on the list.
We could talk about the all of the stallions going forward. I did see a ripping Raging Bull today at Rhiannon Park out in the paddock. He throws one like him, a type.
Well, the first crops will be at the sales this year, and that also coincides with our first $100,000 Llowalong.
Well, see, I wasn't going to put my foot in my mouth, so that is this year, is it?
Yeah.
Right.
So I got all excited about it for last year, but I was a year ahead of myself. But so, and I mean, really, whoever wins. The sad part about it is that if you win the Vic Bred final and you've got progeny by one of these stallions, you'll get more out of the Llowalong bonus than you'll get out of the.
Hey, but that's the way the game. Win. That's the way the game could go. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, pretty good incentive. So these yearlings that are going to the sales, the bonus goes with the horse. So whoever owns the horse gets the bonus. No. I mean, if the breeder still owns it, they get it. But So it's incentive for, basically, we're saying that we're betting that these progeny by Poster Boy, Raging Bull, Yankee Rockstar and Pastor Stephen, we're betting that they're going to be better than all these proven horses competing as 2-year-olds. So it's an incentive for people to buy them at the yearling sales for those breeders who have supported these stallions, because they can, not only win those races, but they can get themselves another $100,000 cash.
He couldn't have got the bonus this year, but he did run second in one of the finals, am I right?
Yeah,
I think.
But there was no bonus.
No, there was no
cash,
bonus, but so it's not like it's a long dream. I think it was second and fourth or something from memory. It doesn't matter. We won't worry too much about that part. King of the North, how's he been received this year?
Yeah, really well. A lot of rebookings based on the foals that have arrived. So he bred...
Saw a cracker today.
Oh, they're beautiful foals. He's got a really nice head on him, and he's been throwing that with the foals. They've got a very pretty head, and they're very athletic and very muscly, really muscly types. So a lot of people have been rebreeding based on the types of foals they've seen. And then his tremendous value. I mean, he's the son of Walner. It's just phenomenal value for anyone breeding into the trotters. We know what Walner and Chapter 7 have done in the US, and he'll be a breed changer down here too.
And I keep telling people the trotters are changing. You also handle Volstead. The trotters, they are the changers of the game, if you like, the winners that they are leaving. And I've said this to Pat, I've said it to Duncan, and I said to you, basically where they had Just Believe went amiss in New Zealand, but you still had Oscar Bonavina and Muscle Mountain going around in New Zealand. At the same time, you had the Interdominions, where you have horses like the Locomotive Queen, a leader, going along. And then, as Duncan rightfully pointed out to me, on the same weekend we had horses like Olivici, I can't think of the horse that won it, one of the Avenger horses, and Love Me Too. These are horses that all could have been competing in Interdominion or anywhere. In the same weekend, they're racing in 3, and they're high-quality trotters. The trotters are definitely on the massive rise. And then we just mentioned Kiang Sahara, and it makes everyone else sit up. So, I mean, but they are on the rise, and they are putting us on the world stage. So it's sort of the gate to get involved with.
Oh, absolutely. And, the likes of Kiang Sahara, she's our version of Black Caviar and Winx. She's just a freak of a horse, and we should be getting around that and shouting it from the rooftops, because it's certainly something to crow about for our trotting industry. Yeah,
worldwide too, because I know people worldwide are looking at her. I did an interview with Alex Ashwood around having a horse in the Interdominion, Prison Artiste, and well done to there's another high-class trotter that I missed out. But it was just great at the end of it that Alex actually said, and unsolicited basically said, that they're breeding 4 horses this year to try and help, what we're saying about keeping the numbers up. And I just said to him, I said, how many do you normally breed? They've never bred.
Yeah.
So people are buying into it as well. Like it's and whether it's off the incentives you've done, I'm not going to ask you whether it's one of your horses or not, doesn't matter. But the message is getting out there about what we need to do to survive this industry.
Yeah, I think
survive this industry.
The bottom line is that we have, a bunch of trainers and owners out there that still want to participate in the industry, and they can't do that without horses. We have probably we want to keep those young ones coming through, because they're the future of the industry, and we need to be promoting those young horses because they are exciting genetics. They are the speed, the gait, the look of the whole cosmetics of our racehorse now is amazing compared to what it was years ago. So there's a lot of appeal there. So we've just got to keep at it and keep promoting it.
The best part of your job is actually watching the foals trot along and behind the mums, isn't it?
Well, pretty happy with that foal. That's one of my foals. It's a Volstead colt that'll go in the sales next year.
Nice type. Not that anyone can see us behind the camera, but yeah, he is a nice type. Yearling sales, Kath. We're not going to dwell on what you've got and everything like that, but it is just around the corner. You are still full on breeding horses, scanning horses, getting mares back in foal, even doing Ram Bureau transfers just there before. You've got a lot on, but yearling sales, you've got some in the boxes ready to go, but we want to encourage people to get out and start looking at these horses.
Yeah, look, welcome to come and have a look at them anytime. Just give us a ring. Basically, I'm here 24/7, so you're more than welcome to come and have a look at them at any stage and have a look at them in the paddock. And we have had a few people over the last couple of months wander through and look at them, and but yeah, it's a good opportunity, and then come back when they're in the boxes and have a look at them too. So
and there's no lie, they get prettied up. They get prettied up for the sale. So if you come and look at them in the paddock, it's not that they look terrible, but you sort of just see them as they are, and probably what you're going to get when you let them down after the sales, broke them in, let them down. That's what you're going to see. So you know what you see. You're also going to see what you can have if you pretty them up, box them, and work them properly, and away they go as well.
Yeah, and look, we tried to keep their their growth consistent all the way through, and so they're pretty big kids already. You get out in their paddock and you sort of look at them, oh yeah, and then when they all get all around you, you think, oh my goodness, like you're a lot bigger than I thought you were. So, they're well on their way now as yearlings and racehorses, and I think that's also the genetics that we're breeding. There's a precocious youngsters. They're ready to go.
Just saw one drop past. But they seem a lot more natural, and it was one of those things that Huey Castle said to me that I have never thought about, like when watching your mares when they're foal and something. We don't breed brood mares. We're breeding racehorses and out of racehorses, and these horses are getting more and more refined all the time, and it is changing so much.
Yeah, and even embryo transfer of some of these young mares, it is improving our genetics all the time. So
I know there's other codes look at us, and once upon a time they said, "Oh, it's stupid," and all the rest. Now they're jealous.
Yeah, you can advance the genetics of a family by half a decade easily. So, people want to breed to top genetics, so why not give it to them?
Yeah,
and we've got a number of embryo transfer yearlings through the sale this year. So,
what's his name was one? Wasn't he guaranteed?
Yeah, he was an embryo foal.
Yeah. So there's plenty of them. It was one of those myths years ago that they were no good. They don't come much better than him. He's even a great sire. He just does an awesome job. So, it's science, and it's leading the way, and that's what our industry is about.
Well, I think we're very fortunate too, as an industry, that we can do that compared to the thoroughbreds, because I think embryo transferism, provides massive ticks in the animal welfare box, because mares that are not able to carry pregnancies and then able to still exist and contribute to the industry through their progeny, because you can embryo transfer them, or perhaps they're, too valuable to risk, getting in foal, because there's always risk with foaling down and breeding, it helps preserve their life basically.
And it's one of those things. AI is so much safer, but things still can happen. But there's a lot less things that can happen when you're dealing with two live animals, and sometimes a third with the foal nearby as well. So it takes a lot of that danger side of things out of play, doesn't it?
Yeah. No, we're very fortunate. You do embryo transfer, and it's a pretty cool thing to do from a veterinary perspective as well.
Kath, I'll let you go. Horses are still coming through. You haven't quite finished yet, and it's not sinking hot, but it's not too bad. But thank you very much. Yearling sales, people come here and have a look. Brood mares. Anyone still wants to get a mare in foal, get in touch with you guys at Llowalong Farms. It's not too late. There's still a good month, even longer. We're talking about there before. I know people have got foals due in February. So, it's not too late now at all. So we want to encourage people to get involved and continue to try and, get the breed going better.
Yeah, we'll be breeding, up until that straight and long weekend, so which is effectively the end of January.
That's
so
5 weeks.
Reflecting, we've still got a bit to go yet. Yeah. No, we can't. We don't get too far ahead of ourselves. We've got a bit of work to do yet. Yeah.
Just quite quickly though, Tribeca's not booked out.
No, he's not booked
out.
None
of those boys on that $1,000 are booked out, because there's 150 cap. I was just making sure.
Yeah, no, they're still good to go.
So that offer's still there for anyone. Yep.
Absolutely.
And Rockstar, we didn't even mention him, but he just leaves winners everywhere, doesn't he?
Oh, he's been doing a phenomenal job. Like he's such a beautiful boy, but he's had some good numbers this year, and they all over the country. He's getting winners, so he's done a great job.
Thank you. Well done for last night. Thanks for the chat. We'll be back. We've obviously got yearling videos. We've got heaps of stuff going on. Sort of good now. I'm starting to get around some of the farms because they're not quite as busy as what they were. So there's plenty going on. But thanks for giving me a bit of time, and I'll let you get back to it and try and finish up at a decent hour.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for dropping in. Appreciate it.
Nutrient Equine 2025 yearling sale dates: Brisbane on the 23rd of February, Tasmania on the 1st of March, Sydney the 9th of March, Bathurst the 30th of March, and Melbourne on the 13th of April. For more information, contact the team at Nutrient Equine, Mark Barton and Gemma Smallman, or go to nutrientequine.com.au.